All right, so good morning, everybody. This is the start of what is hopefully a very fun weekend, and hopefully the start of what I think is going to be called the Moto Dramatic YouTube channel. We are about to head out to the San Antonio airport to go to Birmingham, Alabama, where Barber Motorsports Park is, because we are going to the 18th annual Barber Vintage Motorcycle Festival. I'm a huge motorcycle fan. I've loved motorcycles for several years now. I've never been to Vintage Fest, but my dad and I went to Barber for the first time last year for the final round of the 2022 Moto America season. Super fun to see that. And we love the track. It's super fun, and we like cool old stuff. So we're going to head to the airport and head to Barber Vintage Festival. You can see me right now, but it's about 8:30 Friday night, standing in the campsite. We have a crowd of people around an orb. That's a big light up balloon in the sky. And apparently we're slow racing motorcycles uphill. Orb. There's an orb. Yeah.
The next day.
So, I'm not super familiar with how the Barber Vintage Festival works. I understand what it is, I've heard of it before, but I've never been here, so I've never super closely followed it. So all of these races, they're kind of divvied up by lap time, and so there's a bunch of different classes racing. So you'll get 90 super bikes, 80 super bikes, and then there's like a couple electric bikes in there as well, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, super interesting. So you'll see, you know, bikes going around the track, and then suddenly they'll get passed by 3 or 4 other bikes because that bike's 15 years newer. It makes 50 more horsepower.
So that'll be all of the men's bikes in wave number 1, wave number 2. Bikes racing in
And we're running. Oh my God!
machine. He is off as well, looking a little bit further back. Who's struggling? A couple bikes struggling a little bit further back.
No! Tragic.
I think that's Charles Miller who had a problem in the last one to get away from pulling a wheelie. They're Ken Knuth on the 14K.
No, thank you.
They are away, so all of our riders away. All of the holders have cleared the grid, getting ready to go with our second wave. Again, this is a 6-lap race for these machines. One board, sideways, and green flag for wave number 2. Those bikes are away. And again, some of the hand shift and foot shift bikes. And you'll see the 98 machine strong. Second position is Camilo Sassano, Chris Marlowe in third, Larrabee in fourth position. Miller 9, Cindy McLean on the 222, and Alex Robb on the 49L comes across 10th. There's Ken Canoop in 11th. He did really on his start once he got that bike fired.
I know. What Paradise looks like. It's the Vintage Japanese Motorcycle Club. Look at all of this. Able to hear the glorious sound of flat track racing. And just sitting over here, all on its lonesome, is my dream bike, Honda CBX. I want to build mine into more of a cafe racer with clip-ons and stuff, but this is CBX Super Sport. This is as cool as it got for the time from Honda, but look at that. I mean, just look at that shot. That is so pretty. And these things sound insane, especially with a 6-to-1 header on it. These things sound like Formula One cars. They are rad. It is a 4-cylinder, 2-stroke. This front control arm setup. What the heck? It's there, and then the shock is mounted back in there with 2 brake calipers. That is nuts. Racing sidecar. So shift with your right foot, brake with your left foot. The steering is hub centric, so it's more like a car because it doesn't need to roll like a bike, so it stays flat. The wheels are not in line with each other. You can see the back wheel being further out than the front wheel. That is freaky. So weird. And look at the rear suspension and how it mounts.
When you slow down the blind, you don't know which way to go.
So freaky.
So help me out right now, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together. This time with the fistful of front brake up on that front tire. We went down teeth rolling nice and tall. As he jumps up to the seat, making that left leg back there as he cruises dangerously close to that white line of that curve as he gets back down into the far end. He'll come back down one more time, jump into the tank. He's got that thing straight up and down. He was over that head. Right back down the road as he rolls up to the barricade. Now, I guess we'll do our meet and greet right in the middle of the ladies and gentlemen.
don't know if you heard that. Could be the last race that I get to watch today. I gotta leave, sadly, to go take a test because college. But we'll see. Could be an interesting race. Hopefully an interesting race. I heard the word sidecar said, so we might try to stay for one more. Maybe. I'd love to see sidecar racing. I love sidecars. They're so sketchy and a horrible idea. So we'll see. Maybe last race. Sidecars.
Racetrack, so the 2 days of practice have been well spent. And they're sponsored, by the way, by Carl Cox Motorsports, which is a huge in the scene. That's
okay, so I've always wanted to watch a sidecar race since I've been following the Isle of Man for, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 years now. I think sidecars are the craziest thing on the planet, so this is probably the thing I'm most excited for this weekend, is to finally watch a sidecar race. This is going to be nuts.
That is so cool. Away, whole shot by Uklikowski. And it looks, and Bryant and Franzen got out in front of Esif, so that's going to be interesting. Esif has got his work cut out for him now.
Yeah, it got really tight going into turn number 1 as this is who that was. There was Greek and somebody went really on the inside from the back row trying to make up some spots.
That's so cool.
Out of turn number 5,
it's not the fastest thing on the planet, but it looks incredibly dangerous, so that's so cool.
Uklikowski, and there goes Bryant. Ugly on the 1000cc F1 bike with a substantial lead in Franzen Bryant now. And then Esif making up some headway.
So that's a 1000cc bike, the rest are 600s.
So we can expect to see him leading on the girls, and again, it's their first time here, so I would give the nod to Esif with the experience here at Barber.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep our eyes on them to see some lap times next time. What they actually turned here, but 1.9 second lead. That actually looks like it's closing a little bit now for between first and second. So 1.98 second gap between first and second, and then just about another 0.3.
And Brian and Franzen are gaining. That's interesting. Brian and Franzen gaining, and Esif for that matter, on 600cc bikes, whereas Ugly and Kelsey are 1000cc bike. So that shows you how good those suspensions are and how good those teams are. Also in second and third place.
And so looking at lap number 2, a minute 49.937 for leaders, a minute 48.759 for second, as they are definitely closing in visibly. Third place with Esif and Walther, they are also going quick. In fact, they were the quickest of those 3 at a minute 48.509. So they are finding speed and closing that gap.
I should point out that Jake Walther is he's been imported.
Number 3, that gap continues to close in the top 3. We'll see what it is next time by, but there was less than 2 seconds between the top 3 when they came by to complete lap number 2. We're working lap number 3 right now.
I don't know what's going on with that car.
And
it's not doing good.
It's going to be tighter. Looks like it's going to be even tighter this time by. Ooh, that gap for second to third is getting.
Esif has gotten around the New Zealand team.
Turn number 1 died, not quite enough there. So Esif, just able to get around and hold them off in the battle for second and third position.
That is the race of the race within the race that I expected.
We can't watch this race, but we are going to watch the start because it is the biggest sidecar field of the weekend. It's 22 cars split over several classes. Cars up into the 1980s, 1300 cc's, cars up to 77 that are 2-stroke, 500 cc's, 850, 4-stroke, tons of different classes and cars within this one. So we're going to watch the start of it, even though we can't stay to watch the whole thing because, well, sidecars.
Later.
Night 2, 4 slow races. Versus a Triumph, I think. No way. Oh. Well done to the Harley. It's real hard to do this on a sport bike. Whole lot of shenanigans going on. That is nuts. That's impressive. All right. Whoa. Okay. Big old Indian right here. I think that's about as slow as you can take an Indian up this hill. And he's going into a crowd. Man down. We got a man down. So as you can tell by my stylish blue beanie here, picked this baby up at Walmart. I know, beautiful. And by the motocross race happening behind me, essentially, I'm going to bed because it's freaking cold, and I don't know if you can see that. It's cold. It's like 50 outside, which isn't very cold, but I'm from Texas. I don't do well with cold. So I'm going to bed, and tomorrow, more racing. There's some more racing. There should be motorcycles, old ones, and a museum tour, and then going home, sadly. Until then.
12 seconds later.
Slow racing has been shut down. There's a cop driving through the campsite, so that is the end of that. Now, on to tomorrow. That went about as expected. Hello, officer. Good night, officer.